RenewMD Medical Spa is a nationally recognized leader in medical aesthetic care, specializing in advanced injectables, skin tone safe skin resurfacing, and non-invasive facelifts, weight loss, and more. Joining us now to chat about the latest trend of facial contouring is Dr. Simran Sethi with RenewMD Medical Spas. Dr. Sethi, always so good to see you here at Live.
Thank you, Jessica. I enjoy being here too.
Yes, well, we're seeing everywhere on social media, people are talking about wanting a snatched jawline. So why is this trending right now when it comes to facial contouring?
You know, yes, you're right. This is a huge trend, and I think that it's because it spans so many different ages. So a lot of younger people may find that their jawline isn't as sharp as they'd want it to be, and it could be because they just naturally have a little laxity or maybe a little stubborn fat right under their chin, or maybe a recessed jawline. And then as we age, there's a lot of facial volume loss, skin sagging that starts up here, but then it causes the jawline to not be as prominent or as snatched. So I think that's why it's so popular, because it actually can affect such a variety of age groups.
Yeah, okay, so you in your office, you guys have a couple of ways that you can treat facial contouring and kind of getting that jawline that everyone is talking about right now. So what are some of the different ways?
Yes, you know, there's actually, there are so many non-surgical ways to get that snatched jawline, that facial balancing that doesn't require anesthesia and can be done just sitting in an office and honestly with no downtime. One of the most popular ones is therapy. Therapy has been around for a long time. It's an ultrasound-based treatment. It does take 3 to 6 months to see results. The other one is radiofrequency microneedling. Again, something that can be done in a series of 3 or 4 sessions. Takes about 3 to 6 months, but again, these are very natural treatments. And then third, and also very common, injectables, fillers, something called Sculptra, even a little bit of Botox, believe it or not, can actually help tighten the jawline. And then finally, this is sort of a different category, fat reduction. So laser fat reduction that can be done in 2 or 3 sessions, no downtime, no surgery, but what it'll do is take away that stubborn pocket of fat that sometimes get in the way of a sharper jawline.
Yeah, and these are all non-invasive treatments, you said. About how much recovery time in general for all of these?
You know, honestly, there's barely any recovery time needed. The laser that does the fat reduction, therapy, these procedures, you can literally do them and walk out of the office and go to work. I mean, there's no recovery. With microneedling or injectables, sometimes there can be a little bit of bruising, but generally the next day you are pretty much back to normal.
Wow, yeah, that's great news for anyone that kind of wants just a little bit of tweaks. And all of these things really just make you look a little more refreshed and awake. Would you say a little more youthful?
Yes, it's more of enhancing your natural features. And then the other part is also being aware that, you know, this is sort of where the expertise comes in, knowing that a lot of times we use a combination of these for certain faces, but everything that we do has to complement your natural bone structure, and bone structures vary based on ethnicity. Even your skin tone matters in this case. You know, people with darker skin tones tend to not lose that much facial volume. So when we're doing facial balancing and contouring of the jawline, you may not use as much filler or facial or volume enhancement as we would do in a lighter skin tone. So all those nuances come into play.
Yeah, and you specifically really take a targeted, specific approach to every single client. And so what are some of the ways that you're doing that? So
one of the ways is basically, you know, in-person consultations. You know, these are very difficult to do virtually. And then we also have a specialized camera that we look at your skin under, and we basically want to assess what is the amount of collagen you currently have. Where will you be a few years from now? So that if we are working on any kind of facial contouring, but you need collagen, those results have to last longer. So also then focusing on something that will not only give you good results today, but, you know, have them last longer. So then we may suggest something that improves your own collagen production in addition to just the contouring.
If you are a new client and you are wanting to do some of these things, but a lot of people who haven't usually are a little apprehensive or scared, what are some questions that they should be asking? How do they know that the doctor that they're going to is going to take this targeted approach and really just look at, less is more, take the less is more approach?
I think it's always nice to look at people's social media because it gives you an idea of what kind of patients are they already working with. Have they worked with someone with your skin tone? Or maybe even your age group. There are some physicians who really specialize in certain age groups, to be honest. And I think that asking those questions, checking out their website for before and afters, or going into the office for a consultation and asking to see some of them really helps confirm whether this is the right place for you.
Absolutely. And if anyone is interested in learning more about any of these treatments or others, where can they get more information and follow you guys on social media as well?
Yes, so they can obviously go to our website, RenewMDWellness.com, or we post a lot on Instagram and have a lot of examples of our work, and that is RenewMD_beauty.
I think that is such a great tip on Instagram. If you're following along, you can see kind of exactly what you're doing, and that's very helpful for clients, new and old, I think, to follow and kind of see what they can keep up with. So thank you so much, Dr. Sethi, for joining us here.
Thank you.
If you want to learn more about any of these treatments that we talked about today and others, you can go to Dr. Sethi's website at RenewMDWellness.com.